Hello DFC and welcome back to another lesson in grade 11 English. Today we'll be focusing on our fourth and final unit before the culminating activity, which is a novel study. In particular, we'll be looking at a reader response journal. So over the next 8 days, we'll be reading a novel together as a class and discussing it. And then after our daily readings, we will do a brief reader response bit of writing and continue that pattern for 8 days. The book we'll be reading is called Strangers by David A. Robertson. He's a First Nations author who writes children's and young adult fiction. And Strangers is the first book in his Reckoning series. So it's a trilogy of books but we'll just be looking at the first one. Okay, so let's look at, so in Unit 4, there's only one assignment. That's it. So therefore, it's very important to attend the daily readings, keep up with them, and also fill out your reader response journal, which I'll show you how to do in this video. And the point of this unit and this activity is to learn how to make thoughtful and meaningful connections to a novel by creating a reader response journal. So a good way to understand what you're reading better than just by reading word after word is to make connections to it. And we can make connections in a number of ways. The first way is by predicting. You're making educated guesses that encourage readers to look for clues within the text about what you think will happen next. And predictions can be revised or changed as the story progresses. So your predictions in the beginning of the story will be different than predictions in the middle or toward the end of the story. Next, you can connect or compare. That's comparing the novel, your life, the surrounding world, and other stories that you're familiar with can help you create a more significant and impactful emotional connection with the author's story. And the more connected you are to a story, the better you're able to understand it, the more interested you'll be, and the more motivated you'll be to finish the novel, that is the whole point. That is that an author wants in his or her novel. He or she wants readers to finish their books and also to buy them, because being an author is a very profitable job. Last is metacognition. Think of metacognition. Cognition means thinking or thought processes, and meta just means thinking about your thinking. That's literally what it means. So thinking about what's going on in your head or what thoughts you're having can help you become more aware of your strengths and abilities as a reader. So I'll be going over this in class if you're here in person, but if not, you can get all this information in the video lesson. So there are 8 days that we'll be focusing on, and for each day, we'll read about 29 pages, which will take about 45 minutes. And then in the remaining 45 minutes, I'd like you to complete one journal entry per day. So let's look at what these journal entries are. This is the rubric of how this assignment will be marked. It has a definite due date, which will be listed in Google Classroom. And as usual, 5% per day for lateness, up to a maximum of 50%. So on day 1, for example, we'll read these pages together. And then after that, you just respond to one of the following questions in a proper paragraph of at least 5 sentences. So pick one of these questions, answer it in the space below in a paragraph, and then once you're done that, say if you do that in the first day, that's all you need to do for that day. So we're just doing a little bit of writing and reading each one of the 8 days. But if you aren't here, say if you miss the first day, you have to get caught up on your own time, because on day 2, we're going from page 29 to 55, for example. And then there is a new set of questions that you can pick from. So it's a very straightforward pattern. We'll just be doing some reading and answering one journal entry per day. So 29 pages of reading, then one paragraph times by 8. So, and that will continue for 8 days. All right, so here's how you can get an excellent mark on this assignment. Your journal entries are organized into complete paragraphs. You'll have 8 in total that include topic sentences, supporting details, and concluding sentences. Basic stuff from grade 9 English. Next is depth. Your journal entries are complete and contain relevant and specific details related to the questions posed. So in other words, your answers show that you have read the novel and you're actually addressing the question that you selected. Next is clarity. So do you clearly communicate your ideas in your words, sentences, and paragraphs? So can I understand what you're trying to tell me as the reader? And then finally, your journal entries include ideas and examples from your personal life, the novel itself, the world, and other similar texts. So do you talk about the novel, your life, other stories as well? Can I see evidence that you understand the story? So it is 80 marks in total. If you follow these success criteria, you should have no problem getting a great mark on this assignment because it will count towards your final mark. So not handing this in is not a good idea. So my best piece of advice is read the instructions, watch the video, see how you'll be marked, and then just show up every day to follow along the readings. So we'll be reading this in class. So if you don't like reading on your own, or you struggle with reading a larger text, this is about 200 plus pages. We'll be listening to the audiobook, so you can follow along. And if you want to read ahead and work ahead, you can do that too. But just please do not fall behind because 30 pages a day, if you miss a day, turns into 60 pages in a day, that's a lot of reading. All right, as usual, if you have any questions, you can talk to me in class or send me an email. All right, everyone, thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.